Hey, yo, creative tip. How to promote your music on Spotify. I'm sure for some of you, it's probably like, you're already doing this, but for the independents out there that don't know, or maybe there's some of you who haven't, maybe there's some stuff that you might get out of this. So let's go through it.
Let's just downplay the information before they get it. This is going to be pointless, but I think you guys can find some value.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I know I learned something out of this. I was just reading it like, oh, man, this is a fire creative tip for me. I was like, oh, shoot, this is pretty dope.
Well, I'm glad that you benefited from it and then talk smack about it before you shared it.
Man, all right. Yo, Mario, you actually doing pretty good. All right. Yo, pat yourself on the back like, yo, Mario, man, you actually provided some value here. You might.
Exactly. You're actually going to do a job.
You're actually going to finally do a creative tip. Episode 87? Really, Mario? That's what's up, man.
It's like, I feel proud of this show now.
All right, so first of all, when we're promoting on Spotify, you want to make sure you get verified. And we talked about that on one of our creative tips before.
We did.
Where once you submit it through a pro, whether it be CDBaby or TuneCore or whatever it is that you use, usually as soon as you submit it, it gives you that feature to submit it to Spotify, and then it creates automatically an account for you. You can sign in for the Spotify for Artists. I'll put a link up. And then you can claim your artist profile. And then from there, you can customize your profile. And that's where you can add, your bio and information like that. You can update your header.
Which is dope. Like, if you guys remember the interview with Kanban, he also was saying his whole entire bio is on Spotify.
Yeah, I missed that one. I missed that one. I'm like, man, that should have been my go-to, man. Like,
that's what I mean. Like, it's cool because it's not just a platform where you go and just find people's music and listen to it. Like, you can actually read their bio, see their work. Like, Spotify kind of does a whole thing.
It's like almost becoming like a Facebook for artists.
Yeah.
Almost.
And now I'm hearing Tuli is this new platform similar to Spotify.
Oh, that's
but it's
dope.
made for like creatives and like people just starting to make their own music in their wave. Almost like like a social media platform.
Bing is in Boston right now. He's saying, my bad. I just want to show love. Go ahead, man. My bad.
It's kind of like a social media platform for creatives.
Oh, that's
it's called Tuli or something.
So
like that.
It is sort of like what Spotify is sort of like kind of dabbling. I don't know.
Well, Spotify is a streaming platform where Tuli is more like a social media.
This is like
so you can collab.
Stream,
you can collab. You can do all things that you can basically do it
for streaming.
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I just heard about it. Like, people are talking about it on social media. Like, yo,
it'll be dope.
Download Tuli, da 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 da. And then I looked at the description.
Strictly for artists, not fans.
What do you mean?
What you're talking about, is it strictly, it's an artist?
Yeah, it's kind of driven for creatives and artists,
collaborations,
and stuff like that. Not only that, but just putting out your music, you know what I'm saying, to share it with other people. If you wanted to get like feedback, like that would be a great place because they all know what they're talking about.
This is like a sub creative tip within the creative tip. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's fire. All right,
because it's similar. It's called Tuli, I think. It's Tully.
Cool. Tuli. So go check out Tuli.
Also
that was a sub creative tip from Gil Vargas. That was fire. That was a gem for you, brother. Good job.
I tried.
You earned that.
I'm trying to be.
You can also, in Spotify, you can also integrate your concert calendar.
Oh, that's fire.
You can pick your artist pick to the top of your profile and a whole bunch of other.
So your bio is almost like your own website.
Yeah, pretty much.
In a sense.
Yeah.
That's fire.
And then the next thing you want to do is distribute your music to Spotify early. So like 3 to 4 weeks, you want to make sure you have enough time to make sure that you get everything that you need to prepare to market and promote your project, and make the announcements. Plus, there's additional information that you're going to need as well. There's a website called show.co. You want to sign up for that. If you are through CDBaby, you automatically have access to that, and you want to go there. And there's things that you can do in there as well that has free marketing tools that gives you access to submit your music to like playlists, Spotify playlists. You could run campaigns on Spotify. You could do pre-save, which pretty much.
And is these all paid services, or is this like free?
Well, through CDBaby, it's a free service. But if you go and create your own account, I'm sure they have like tiers, or a trial, or you know how all of them do.
That's what I like about CDBaby, because it kind of has everything all in one. Where if you go to all these different platforms individually, it's like it's going to take a lot of time.
Right. So that's where, you know, when you sign up in there, you have additional tools for you where you could pretty much like through there, you can do like announcements that go when you release your music, it goes into the listener's queue. So as soon as it's released, the people who are following you, boom, they'll get the notification for your music when you release it.
How come I don't get that?
I know, like some stuff like that.
I don't get no notifications of music coming out. Or maybe I gotta like do something to the specific profile.
No, you gotta sign in. I'll show you, brother.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll show you, brother. After this, you can, and then you want to submit your song to Spotify's editorial team, and that's another one that guarantees placement to your followers and release radar playlists and stuff like that. And then, of course, you want to push and follow up by running ads to drive streams. So, you know, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you know, all the marketing tools that are available for you. You know, use Google too. You can use that. What is it called? Google AdSense or one of those. All the tools to push your music. You want to use those too, just to drive people to your playlist.
I gotta say, man, I love this day and age that we're in right now. Just because it's like, imagine being born in that time where everything had to be through a record label.
Right.
You had to get signed. That's it. It's the only option. But now you have access to all these different services that allows you to get your music out there, to be heard, create a fan base, ultimately create an income, you know, with your own little niche, your own little fan base. Like, that's fire.
Yeah.
It's like a great time to be a musician. And a lot of people who are in the business.
Well, you're not bound to anything right now. Like, it's just, you know, you're free to just
promote. And if you're a consumer of music, if you follow music in the sense like, you know, of the lives of these artists, you will notice that a lot of these artists are now becoming independent.
Right.
Why is that?
Ownership.
They're getting more percentage of their work.
Everyone's getting hip.
More of everything.
You know, everyone's getting hip to the game, man.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful, beautiful. If anybody tells you that it's impossible to make it in music,
well, I mean,
it's because they don't know what they're talking about, and they just straight spreading fear and what's the word I'm looking for? Ignorance, and putting that into you. Because if you really study this, you'll see stuff like this. Spotify allowing you to create your own bio so people can get to know you. Create a playlist. You have all these different services to spread your music out to those who, you know, subscribe to you, and it automatically goes to them. Like, what? Yeah. There's no excuse. It's either you work the system or you're not. Well, but there's no matter of like, it's by chance. It's who you know.
Well, that too.
Now it's not who you know. It's what you know.
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Not really. Because, I mean, if you want to become a superstar, then yes, it's a little bit of both. But I'm saying to make it in the music, to make a sustainable income, just to live off. Like, if you're trying to get Mansion and Jay-Z type money, yeah, you need both. You're going to have to get both. But I'm talking about just a living. You couldn't do that before. You couldn't just make a living unless your life was dedicated to traveling, and tours.
I guess it is easier in a sense where you don't technically need, you know, a big
label, a big humongous budget.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But at the same time, it's oversaturated because everybody has the same tools and everybody's playing the same game.
Facts.
So and that's where it becomes a little bit more difficult. But you're right. See, that's the beauty of it. Because what happens is art hits like a plateau because everybody across the board is hip to the game.
Yep.
So everybody starts playing the game. And now you have to stand out. So people rely on gimmicks. But gimmicks can only last for so long because dudes are going to jail and you know what I'm saying? Like gimmicks are going to get you in trouble. Hold on. Let me unfold it. So now the gimmicks get you locked up. The gimmicks get you in trouble. So now they're like, well, we don't want to play that. It's too much of you jeopardize everything. We're trying to make something sustainable long term. So this is where now some people are getting hip to, you know, good art. Maybe if we just make better music than our competitors, you know, people will naturally flock to the music. One person that's never let up, bro, and I don't know if this is just my own opinion, is Drake.
Yeah.
He's never let up on perfecting his craft, bro. He's never let up. Like, the dude is like relentless at maintaining his ability to make banger after banger after banger after banger. It's like anything he touches at this point is like guaranteed, like
Yeah.
success. And the way that he does it, he don't be repackaging.
Same,
he don't be repackaging, but he sounds like the same. You know, it's Drake.
And not that we're co-signing.
You know what I'm saying?
But people get sensitive.
You know what I mean?
They're like, oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
Did he just endorse?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hooligan
Is that
Drake?
the disclaimer? Hold up, Joseph. What's do we have to? Do I need like a?
We're not endorsing. We're just talking about
disclaimer, like
the work ethic. We're talking about
Joseph. You got
the level of professionalism in regards to the content.
Did it just freeze? I hope not.
Not content. In regards to
Gary, you still
the
here?
body of work and the artistry that goes behind creating hit after hit after hit. And if you want to say, oh, it's because he's secular, there's plenty of secular people that have come out with a hit, and then after that, they fizzled out. There's a lot. There's hundreds and hundreds of artists throughout the years and decades that came out with a banger, and then all of a sudden, they just gone.
Yeah.
So it's not just because they're secular.
I'm just saying,
that
like,
they can become irrelevant for year upon year upon year.
Even
it takes skill.
Even in the secular realm, they're ruthless. Right?
Yeah.
You flop once,
that's it. You're done.
And it's almost like the Roman times.
A really
like if they're sick of you, like kill them. Like they just turn on you in an instant. We don't like.
For an example,
no more.
Chris Brown took a long time to bounce back after the Rihanna thing.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that happened.
Right.
You look at his career, and there was a definite, obvious speed bump where you were like, "Oh, what's going on?" Radio stations weren't playing his music. People were boycotting him.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but if you know this business, you know that the women are the core of your sales. They are the core. Dudes don't go, especially if you're a singer. You're a singer? Dude, I'm sorry, but dudes ain't lining up to buy your R&B album. There's gonna be sales in the men.
Yo, that's true.
But for the most part, it's women.
What's the climate?
And Chris Brown was known for hitting a woman. You're done.
Yeah, facts.
You're done. And anybody who plays his music is going to look like they condone that behavior. So he was put in a horrible position, and he put himself there. It was well deserved. What was that?
Oh, the baby.
Now, same thing's happening to him now. Woo. But he is also putting himself in that situation. He slapped somebody because they were putting their flashlight phone or whatever in his face. And then later on, he says, oh, my bad. I didn't know it was a woman. Like, man, you don't just slap somebody without looking. Like, how did you perfectly slap her in the face then? You perfectly slapped her in the face. If you just went like this, you probably would have slapped the phone out of her hand. You probably would have hit her in the shoulder or, maybe her body. But no, you perfectly went slap.
Bang.
You telling me you didn't look at her face and be like, oh, I just slapped a woman. And you just kept it moving. And now he had to make a public apology. It was ugly. He got super backlash. Now she's trying to sue him. Because she straight slapped him. And then he made fun of her afterwards.
Yeah.
And then he had like video clips of him making fun of her after he made the apology. So she don't even accept the apology. She's like, how you gonna apologize and then make fun of me in another video? Like,
yo, but he's not getting like nothing. Like his fans are not coming at him.
Called and everything. Nothing.
No, I'm
really,
saying like fans are not coming at him. Like people are not.
They booed him the whole time.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
okay, so he's getting hit right now.
Yeah, he didn't even finish the show. He left because they all were like,
dude, dude. He's probably done right now then.
You can't slap a woman in public like that
and then try to celebrate it. Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
True. Wow.
I did not know that. So Joseph in the background is saying Tekashi 6ix9ine was known as a sex offender. Nobody
that's true, and they kind of swept it. So they kind of that's money. That's money. Some stuff like some stuff if they can sweep because of the money, they'll just let something fly under the radar, and that's the people. The people got to be the ones to be like, yo, speak up because really, what? Oh, you talking about with Tekashi? Because they loved it. You know why? Yeah. You know why they didn't care? Because they love the gimmicks. Yo, it's like I was saying, it's like the Roman times, like when they were like, yo, like they'll be entertained up until the person is pretty much dead almost.
Yeah.
They'll instigate just to see this dude just like get to the point of like where he's destroying himself mentally, physically, and the fans are just like consuming it like, yeah, this is an awesome reality show. messing with real people,
real lives.
and that's what's dangerous. Actually, you know what? Real talk. That's what's dangerous about platforms like this. Like if you do have you struggle with certain things, with like mental disability or anything like that. Like you struggle with certain things. Like having a platform is not a wise thing.
Yeah,
having a platform is not a wise thing.
It's definitely not,
because when you start getting like an audience, you start getting fans and like that. Like it does do something to you.
Yep.
And you got to go through it and learn. Praise God, for conviction and lessons and discipline. You know what I'm saying?
There's people who straight come at you like hard threats.
Well, imagine people who like imagine a kid, a celebrity child.
Yeah.
Right. And all his life he's praised and pretty much worshipped and oh my goodness and and then all of a sudden he's not that kid star no more and all that's out the door. You ain't cute no more, kid. Get the heck out of here.
Yep.
You ugly grown man. Get up out of here. And now what happens to that kid where all he knew was praise and
I don't know if y'all seen the kid that was in The Sixth Sense and what he looks like now.
No, I don't. Was that a topic?
Completely different dude. And that he's child star. Like The Sixth Sense, remember? I see dead people. With Bruce Willis, you remember that movie?
Yeah.
You see him now?
Is he all right?
No, he's just not the cute little kid that you want in every movie because he's such a dope actor. Like I remember when I saw Sixth Sense, I'm like, yo, that dude's gonna have a promising career because he can act.
Yeah.
Like, boy, he's only what, 8?
Yeah.
And he's acting like an Academy Award actor.
He's fine. Yeah.
And his career kind of fizzled for the exact reason that you're saying.
You think so? Well, I didn't see.
I think it's exactly
why. You know what? I think with him, if he had a dope manager like my boy Joseph back then.
Ooh.
What Joseph would have done is try to find a way to rebrand him to a newer audience. You're supposed to have a transition from your young audience and you're supposed to grow with them and transition to the next audience.
It's just tough because it's a movie. So it's easy to do that when they grew up, like for an example, the Full House. You got the twins that grew up on the show.
True.
And
okay, that's
they
a good
basically
example.
they built their own empire, clothing. Then they transitioned to Disney movies. So they had a clear path. But when you start in movies, it's hard to create a path like that because it's just movie to movie, script to script.
Yeah, but I mean,
each movie going to have the same impact as the last.
But that's why you're supposed to be strategic and read the scripts and stay active at the roles you're trying to get.
No, I feel you. But the reason, what I'm saying is that because you have to be selective and you have to be very careful, it takes more time. Whereas if you grew up in Full House, hit show, it's success, all the way until they now too old. Now they leave. Now they have an open path. They can do whatever. They have the success behind them. They can now go into movies,
Look at Robert Downey Jr.
Whatever they want.
Look how he moves through genres of film, from comedy.
Yeah, but you can
action,
also see
to
the fluctuation because right now, Dr. Dolittle is not doing nowhere near as good.
Well, obviously,
but not even near. Not even near. I'm not saying it's gonna have the same success as Iron Man. I'm not saying that. But
Home Alone kid worse.
But I'm also expecting some level of like, I want to be wild now, bro. Like you left the franchise. You say you don't want to be in Marvel movies anymore because you want to, close that chapter. You want to expand.
Yeah, he don't want to be stuck.
Don't you want to be in the next movie after that? To wow, like, oh wow, like he did something completely out of the box, different.
Maybe he felt like he was.
He did Dr. Dolittle, which was basically like a PG version of Sherlock Holmes.
What is that? What it was?
Basically, he had the British accent. He's talking to animals, and he's mad smart.
Did he calculate his moves and all that?
Of Sherlock
Holmes. Fighting like animals and calculating the moves.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
He's like, oh my golly, Watson, did you hear that bear? Like, basically, that's what it was.
Did you hear that
bear? Did you hear what that bear just said to me?
It's a bear necessity. All right. Go ahead. So
this bear's talking about his necessities.
Should we give it to them? He needs his
bear necessities, nonetheless.
Yeah, I love you, girl, man.
Oh my God.
Sometimes I watch these back and I'm like, I swear this podcast is just for me and you.
Hey, man, if it ends up being that way, I'm
This
good with it.
podcast is just for us, man.
I'm good with it. It's just us, man. I'm cool.
I'm like, yo, this is fire. I always listen back. I'm like, I call him up. I'm like, yo, man, you killed it, brother, man. Like, you got me laughing. I'm like at work laughing to my own
I'm the
voice.
same way.
I'm like, yo.
I listen back to the show and I die laughing. I'm like, hey, this God, man, if you made me do a show just for my selfish ears,
selfish enjoyment.
then I guess, man, that was a very weird plan, God. Very weird.
But
why
touche.
you wanted me to hear myself? That's crazy.
Yo, this is a good time to break away to our featured track. This is Next Life with TJ Godfarin, Voice Sevre, and Real and Nah.
We gotta work on
Real and
reading
Ya.
these names, man.
Yo, bro, just read the names when they come on the thing.
Oh, I will.
You know what I'm saying? Here we go.